Hello, BeatStars family. Welcome to another episode of BeatStars Academy. My name is Jamil. We have Levi Beats in the house as well, and today we are joined by special guest, the Plan Beats. He is a graphic designer over here at BeatStars. He's super experienced. He's a really great designer. We all love him over here. And today he's joining us to talk about some graphic design stuff. um, Specifically about pro page design. We've had like some pro page kind of feedback, pro page stuff in the past, but we haven't really gotten the perspective of a graphic designer yet. So we definitely wanted to bring the Plan Beats on today. Today's show, he's going to be kind of showing you some of his designs that he's made for pro pages and kind of walking you through exactly why he made the certain choices that he made, giving you some like tips on how to improve your pro pages. And then we're actually going to be taking submissions and checking out some of your pro pages live and giving you live feedback. So just wanted to let you know, visit beatstars.world/opportunities and click on the pro page feedback. Click on the pro page feedback post over there, and you could send us your pro page URL, and we'll be checking those out towards the second half of the show. We'll put the link in the chat right now, just so it's a little bit easier to get to. And yeah, well, welcome, Plan Beats. How are you doing today?
Hey man, what's up? Thanks for having me again. Thank you for that super nice intro. I'm glad that you think I'm a valuable part of the team. No, but I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. It's always a pleasure to be a part of your show. So yeah, hopefully this will be insightful for our community, and I can help out people with their pro pages.
Definitely. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. So yeah, we have the link right now in the chat. You could also visit beatstars.world/opportunities and submit that way. So submit your pro pages now. We're going to be checking those out shortly here. But just to kind of get started and warmed up, I wanted to ask the Plan Beats to kind of pull up some like really nice designs that he's made for pro pages, and we'll kind of just go through them. As always, if you have any questions, no matter where you're watching, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, feel free to leave a comment. We'll see it and we'll answer your questions. Or if you have any comments about anything, please let us know.
Right, sound good. Do you want me to share it right away?
Yeah, let's go ahead, share your screen, and we'll kind of just get right into it.
I'm excited. I've not seen this.
So, am I sharing it? I think I am.
Let's add it to the page. There you go.
Okay. So, all right. So, for the show, I got a few mock-ups of the pro page that we have available on BeatStars. So basically, I made a few versions of both dark and light modes, sort of to just showcase what I would do with different types of palettes. And yeah, let's just dive into. So Stellar is this mock-up brand that we have. Basically, it's very involving like BeatStars, the stars part of it. So Galaxy, that's basically the gist of the branding of it. And so following that type of schematic, I went with a very simple galaxy, starry sky type of header. Sort of subtle, not too crazy to break the ice, because this is the type of visuals that I wanted to go with this. And then basically what I did here was just choose a couple of colors to sort of play it out. And I wanted to keep it very dark in this scenario. So the main color, as you can see, is like this pink sort of unsaturated tone. And then I play around between that pink and various tones of grays, dark grays and such. And so what I'm looking to do with these types of color balances is just really find a way of making everything feel balanced without having too much of color overlapping when it comes to color shocks between various colors. Um, and so obviously you could integrate more than one tone here. You have a darker purple here that goes well with this pink. But everything feels very smooth, not too shocking to the eye. And yeah, just play around with different types of grays, sort of to separate each of the sections. Because as we all know, we can change the background color of each section. Um, and if we were to have it all be just one color, it might blend in too much and not create as much of a visual impact as it could with this scenario where we actually have different colors for each section. Um, and yeah, that's more or less the type of strategy I took here, which is very similar throughout the next mock-ups that we'll see. But yeah, they'll just show different types of tones for you to better identify. This is more inspired by the BeatStars branding, as you can see. So here I'm just using more of the blue and the yellows that you can see on the platform. Obviously, it creates a bit more contrast since they are more prominent colors. Again, I try to separate the sections with different types of grayscales. So even though it's a very dark gray on top of the black, you can still see a difference and separate each of your sections. And so it kind of helps people go from one section to the other and understanding what's going on beyond the titles. So yeah, you also can have backgrounds on sections. I like to include a very abstract background on the YouTube section. Since it's more dynamic, it'll have the video and all of that. And yeah, that's more or less the strategy for these types of things. I don't know if I'm scrolling too fast. I don't know if people are trying to. I'm not paying attention to the comments right now, but Lee and Jamil, please let me know.
Sure, nice. It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's good. So just to like kind of like reiterate, these are all for the round theme, right? These are round themes.
Yes.
Here. So can you talk a little bit about like so for this background header image, kind of like how like you figure like how to make that blend into like the tracks section? Because you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're designing a header, right? Like you want to make sure you match the track section of the color, or why do you do that exactly?
No, that's a very good question, actually. So the good thing about the round theme is that it has this sort of fading effect from the header to the actual track list section, right? And so that does help blend the header a bit if you don't want that clean cut that you get with the other version, which I forget the name. Is it a solid one?
Block theme.
Block. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So when using the round theme, as the gradient will help blend more together, what I will do is have, in most cases, not all, because you can always. I'm not sure if I have an example. But you can have more contrastful colors between the track list background. But again, I try to keep in mind if you're using a light color for your track list background, the very first section, I would try to keep the header in a similar tone. So even if you want to include color versus a white background, like you can see here, I would always try to, with this round theme, I would try to keep like a very light color or a dark color if we're going with the dark mode, just to sort of make that gradient blend in more together with the header that you have. So again, if you're using the block theme, it's going to be a clean cut, and so it's a more accentuated header, and that would be more of depending your preference, in my opinion. But if you're going to use the round theme with the gradient, it makes more sense to have a header that will blend in well with that gradient. Otherwise, you'll have, let's say, this gray gradient and then you'll have a very pink header, for example, and you'll notice the gradient very much, and it's going to be a lot more clashing in terms of the colors. So I would keep in mind the colors that you're going to use on both sections.
Right, for sure. You kind of talked about like alternating between different colors for sections to sort of make them stand out. So like these examples are, theoretically, if you have like basically like every homepage section enabled, right? What about for
Yes.
people who have maybe like one or two? Maybe they just have like the like licenses section and then maybe like the services section. You think that it should be like three different colors, so it should go from tracks to a different color to another different color? Do you think that matters? Because in this, you're using three, it looks like. You're using this gray, the black, and then the white. So how do you think
Sure.
that kind of breaks down if you have less sections?
So I do think it comes down to personal taste, possibly, but in my opinion, if you have it all in the same color, it's gonna blend too much, and your sections will just be like it'll be harder to distinguish one section from the other when scrolling. So you have to keep in mind that if you have a user on your website and they're just scrolling up and down through your website looking for a specific section, sorry. If this is all gray or all black, then as you're scrolling down, maybe you won't have that immediate visual.
Yeah, you might miss it.
Yeah,
You might miss
exactly.
it.
You
So
might miss it.
it kind of helps to divide the sections up by having different colors, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So even if you have few sections, I would always try to separate them in that manner. And you don't need to make it super obvious. Even if you have just a subtle difference in tone, like the previous one that we saw, it sometimes is more than enough. So you'll still have a very clean, subtle transition from one to the other while making it obvious enough that all of a sudden you're in a different section. So even if you only have two or three of these sections, I would always advise to have a clean break between the colors. Um, it can be a very subtle switch from a dark gray to a complete black, or it could be a complete switch from one dark color to a brighter color. But that's my opinion, my suggestion to everyone.
For sure. So let's talk about colors for a little bit, like, selecting specific colors. Um, so there's a few different colors that you're going to kind of need to decide for the theme of your pro page. Obviously, like the background colors are the main one, but there's also the button colors. So
Mhm.
how do you kind of decide how to pick these button colors? Because these ones look sort of like a purplish, while your background, or a purple bluish, while your background is pink. So how did you kind of figure that out? Is it just sort of like a feel thing, like, what kind of looks right when you're playing around with the colors, or is there like a more specific formula that you could use to figure this kind of stuff out?
So if we're talking about technical terms, obviously when you want to go about branding, I'd really search into yourself as to what your branding is about. So if you're more geared towards chill beats, maybe very light tones, very smooth, like pastel type of tones for your colors might be the way to go, because the overall vibe is chill. And with heavy pop shock colors, it's not going to provide you as much of that sensation as pastel colors like this one probably. So I would first of all understand what your brand is, what your type of sound is going to be. Even if you do various genres, try to capture the main general idea of what your sound is, and go from there and try to understand. There's a couple of techniques that can help you, which is just maybe going on Google and search color meaning. So, for example, orange is a color that provides usually sentiments of happiness, energy, stuff like that. And so when trying to find your brand and your sound, understand what each color provokes, what emotions each color provokes to your clients, because it'll unconsciously affect them in that way. Um, in terms of finding the correct colors, you can always play around with the color wheel. One tip that I shared on one of our lives was to understand color oppositions in the color wheel, and how a color that's directly opposed to the other one in the color wheel will conjugate well together. But there are tools on Google or online that you can find that'll help this process. So let's say if you go to coolers.com, you can just set your main color. Let's say you want this type of blue, and just by hitting space, it'll automatically give you a palette of 5 or more colors that will work well together with that specific blue. And you can adjust between lighter or darker. But as I was beginning, and even nowadays I still use it a lot, it helps speed up the process of finding the best colors that work together. And you can just take that palette that you find from coolers.com, you can implement it, and then adjust appropriately as you go through it in a more practical manner.
Right.
Some great advice.
For sure. Okay, well, I see a lot of people already asking about sort of getting feedback. So I think
Yeah.
maybe we should start looking at some pro pages, and then maybe we can explain some more of these concepts as we start to look at these pro pages and we see some of these things come up. Because I want to make sure that we can get to as many people as possible. So let me just look at the submissions really quick, and we can
Do you want me
start.
to stop sharing my screen? And
Yeah, sure. I'll share my screen.
If you want me to, if you want me to bring a couple up, just send them in the private chat, and we can have them. Can try and get through as many, and then I can have one ready. You know.
For sure. Okay, I think this first one. Let me just see where the submission started. Okay, let me just pull this up. Okay, let me open it up over here. Great to go. Does anybody have any questions so far in the chat?
Yeah, I'm going to have a little look.
Always feel free to ask us anything. Ask. Take advantage of the Plan Beats being here and being captive for the next 45 minutes.
Being captive.
Okay, let me. What happened to my share screen button?
We did put the link in earlier, but if we could put the link back in again, if people want to submit, that would be great.
It's just beatstars.world/opportunities.
Okay.
If anybody wants to go there. But anyways, this is, I guess, Prism is how you would pronounce it. This is their pro page. All right. So right off the bat, I want to mention that I don't know why it's not popping up over here. I think because I already opened it, but he did have a pop-up saying to use this code. You can't see it, but I just do want to mention really quickly that at least on my screen, looking at this, your characters, you have too many characters in that pop-up. So I would shorten the message within your pro page settings because you can't read the entire message. So just wanted to let you know that. It looks like you're using too many characters. Anyway, so this is the pro page. We're on round theme, just like the one that we were looking at before. Right after that, I do notice that we can't see your logo. I'm not sure if you have one uploaded, but it might be because of the colors that we can't see it. So definitely would look into that. Yeah, I hope you're in the chat. I did see you submitted at the start of the show. But yeah, it's we can't see your logo. I think this is still the default background, right? This is like for the black theme, isn't that the default background?
So. I believe it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go ahead. Sorry.
No, I don't think there's an issue with using the default background with the other. I would say adjust the search bar so it's at least higher. You could either add your logo to the header, or have an actual sentence like a bundle deal. Let's say that's always a great thing to add to a header, so that people automatically see that there's a bundle deal. But either way, I would say move the search bar a bit more upwards so that it feels a bit more centered and not as touching the feature track. And that's easily done in the pro page settings.
Yeah. Answer to this question. It looks like a lot of people are already answering in the chat, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's done within pro page settings, the pro page settings page on beatstars.com. You can just do it there. If you have a MailChimp connected already, then those signups will go into MailChimp.
Yeah.
Okay, let's scroll a little bit down. So what we see here is, I just wanted to point out that this search bar is kind of close. You can adjust the position of it. There's like this bar where you could like scroll left, right to adjust the position. I would raise that search bar a little bit because it's touching this featured track. And then do you want to talk about the colors a little bit? It looks like we're using like this light red. It's hard to tell if it's part of your branding because we don't see a logo or anything. But what do you think of this kind of like light red on this black background with the gray button colors?
I do like it. I do think it's a good color scheme. The only thing I think is that maybe it's too much red. So you do want some colors to be more of an accent color rather than the dominant color here. So I would say maybe changing the text to either white or a lighter gray or something of the sort, so that you can have a bit more contrast going on, and then the red ends up popping up more to the eye. So far from what I see, that would be my only change here.
Yeah, I do like that they match the like the text color with the buttons. I think that's a pretty good idea. But yeah, maybe the colors like this, the red, it could be too much for things that you see a lot like text. I do like a more kind of simple, like easy on the eyes design because you are going to be reading those things, as opposed to maybe just like being in the background.
You can change the highlight color of the text, can't you, as well? So if you're hovering over it, you can change that. So maybe you could make that red and like Zhao said, have it white and then just have the highlight color as that kind of red color, you know. That would look good.
Is the highlight red here as well when he hovers over? That's a good point, Lee.
Yeah,
It seems it is. Yeah.
it looks like he's got the same.
Yeah. I would probably
I think you need to click on it, Jamil. I think you'd need to click on one of the tracks to see it.
Oh, you need to click on the track?
No, sorry.
It's usually you just hover over it, right? Like that's what it would show. I don't see one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, probably just not set up.
Okay, so you got a highlight for the popular in your licensing info. I do like you have a lot of license types. That's always good. Okay, sound kits. YouTube. I like that you have almost everything set up. I think that's really cool. I just want to check really quick to see if you do have a blog. Okay, no blog. I would probably take this out of your menu since you don't have anything there. Videos.
Same for videos, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he has videos. And then we saw the sound kits on the homepage too. That's cool. I mean, I like this pro page. I think it's pretty simple. I would maybe try to play with the colors, using Joao's advice there. I would definitely set up a logo. I see that you have so let me just go to.
Even if you don't have the logo, you can have, you can just put your producer name in text, because actually the logo is usually the way to get back to the homepage as well. So
so now I can't get back to the homepage. I have
you
to
probably can.
It's in the footer.
Yeah, it's in the footer, but when you have a lot, so I was on the tracks page, right? This is good that we're encountering this problem. I was trying to scroll down to the footer and I couldn't because there's too many things. Yeah. There's too many tracks uploaded.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to press.
I think you can. I think if you click in the corner, it should still, top left corner, it should still go back to the home page.
No,
no, it's not. Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's something to be aware of.
Yeah.
It's something that you can adjust.
Another thing, could you go back to the homepage? As difficult as it might be.
Sure. I'm trying to go back to the homepage. I accidentally deleted one too many characters in the address bar. There we go.
Scroll down to the licensing section, please.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a minor detail. It's not necessarily a design thing, but it's something that I feel could help you out, which is something I myself pay attention to, and I don't know if you too, Lee, but is in terms of the information that you have going on for each lease, where on the nonprofit you only have MP3, and it makes sense. Then if you move over to each of the other leases, you have different points and different leases have different amounts of lines of text, and so it creates this unbalanced visual to the licensing info. So I would try to find a way of making sure that each of these licenses have the same amount of lines, so that it all, like the buttons align with each other and the whole section feels a bit more balanced visually. Obviously, by adding extra information, your customers are going to be more appreciative as well. More information is never a loss, and it does create that balance visual. So just
Yeah.
an extra note to keep in mind.
The other thing I
Yeah.
always like to do as well, and this is probably just a bit of OCD, but see the option to feature a license. Like I would always make sure it is my most popular like license that sells, and generally I try to make sure that one's in the middle. I don't know what it is. I
Yeah,
just
I
like to
know.
have I don't know if you're the same, Zhao, but I just
Yep.
have it in the middle.
I'm the same.
It just looks, for me, it just looks a bit more pleasing to the eye,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
if you
it's
did
like-
want to highlight exclusive,
Yeah.
can you? I think exclusive has to stay at the end, but the other ones can be adjusted.
You can move them around, yeah.
You can move them around, but I don't think you can move exclusive around. I do
Yeah.
want to move on to the next one.
Sure.
Thank you for submitting. I just wanted to
Yeah,
say
thanks, person.
the next one should be prod by Rick, but I don't see you talking in the chat. I just want to make sure that you're here if we show your page. So I'm going to move over to Grandtastic now because I know Grandtastic is here. Prod by Rick, if you are here, say something in the chat and we'll get to you after this.
Definitely.
All right, let me just put this and let's check out Grandtastic. Oop, nope, cancel. Wrong tab. I almost left the show.
He just made the change as well to it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Pop up.
Here we are. Grandtastic Beats. We see a pop-up. The characters all appear here. So that's great. 20% off your purchase. And you have, looks like you have Fan Connect enabled too to get the phone number and email address. That's cool.
Many chat, Facebook Messenger as well. That's good.
Right. We do see in this checkbox section something that we've encountered before. It says, check this box to confirm that you would like to receive emails from Grandtastic Beats. Buy one, get one free. We did have a show where I remember someone asking, it might have been you, or it might have been somebody else asking how to get that like buy one, get one free thing in their on their page within that thing. Because I believe Cloud9 had it. And it was just a part of his display name. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have an extra message like that, you can put that in your display name, just to show that extra information. Yeah, it was. I remember it was Grandtastic. Actually, who got it from Cloud9. I remember that. So yeah, it's cool if anybody else wanted to try that, or if they were wondering after seeing that. That's how you get that there. All right, cool. Let's close that out and let's check out the page. So we have a really nice background right off the bat. Something that I am noticing is usually when you load up a pro page, you'll see like a featured track or, the player right away. With the way that at least my display over here is, and this is like just a regular MacBook, like a 13-inch MacBook screen. You don't see any of the tracks. On my bigger monitor, I do see the tracks. Just wanted to let you know that on a smaller screen, because of the way this kind of looks and the way that this background is set up, with the tracks being or the search bar not being there, you don't see that right away on a smaller display. So just wanted to let you know that is totally a preference choice, a matter of taste. But yeah, so on a small screen, this is how your page looks. If you weren't aware of that.
I do like the header. It's as soon as you clicked into the pro page, it looked very clean, very balanced. My only, maybe it's a pet peeve, but it's the Grandtastic Beats logo that you have going on. It looks great, but I feel like since it's a bit more darkened than the blues on the sides, I feel like it loses a bit of the impact that it probably could have. So if you have the original file for this, or whoever designed this for you, I would say try to. I don't think you necessarily need to dim down the blues on the sides, but try to make the actual logo pop out more, because it'll create an even bigger impact. But even so, it looks really good.
Just wanted to answer this question really quick. You would have to go into your pro page customization and then enable it in the homepage sections part of your pro page customization. By default, I think only a few are enabled to show right away. So what you would need to do is manually press that like button to enable the YouTube section on your homepage, and you need to connect your YouTube, obviously, for that to show.
You need to copy and paste your YouTube channel ID into the social section of your account, basically.
Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and scroll down. I'm going to close this out, but good on you for having the ManyChat feature enabled.
Yep.
I did want to say that, by the way, to get the highlight color, I just tested it myself. You have to click on the artwork of the track. So basically, when it starts to play, that's when it's highlighting the track that you're playing, basically. So just in case you wanted to know.
Okay, let's just look at that right now over here.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
So that's the highlight color.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, let me just open this up real quick. I just want to see what this looks like. See if there's any automated. Okay, here we go.
Well, that's cool.
Hey, any questions? Feel free to message me here. Okay, the two answers are: where are you located? How else can I contact you? I would try to queue up something related to like tracks, like a question that your customer may have about your purchases. I'm curious to see if you have any automated messages. So, like, what's something that like you might want to know about Grandtastic's tracks or licenses, Levi?
Yeah, I was going to say you might ask a specific question about a license. You know, could be anything. Could be any type of question that an artist might have. They might ask about bulk deals if you have any. If you have a discount code, something that's pretty cool. If you're not already providing a discount code, like some people do on their subscribe form, maybe you could offer an automated one. So if someone says, hey, do you have a discount code, and you can actually send an automated response to say, hey, yes, use this code or something like that. So things like that, or specific questions.
Yeah, like, so I asked because I wanted to see if you had any automation set up. Like, you could set up automation for when people type in keywords. So you don't need to put this as like an option specifically like bulk deals, but just in case somebody wanted to know about bulk deals, you could put a keyword like bulk deals, and then that might trigger a set of responses, or maybe even a message with information. So if you have bulk deals that are available all the time, like you have this buy one get one free, if somebody types in bulk deals, you might want to have an automated message saying we have a buy one get one free available. And I know you typed that in, but that's really great. That's really great that you're able to respond quickly. But yeah, if it's totally up to preference. If you're available all day to respond to every message personally, then that would be optimal. That would be the perfect situation. But the reason that we have chatbots like this is because life gets busy. People don't have time to respond to everybody right away. But
And the
that
thing
could
is,
end up being the difference in completing a sale.
definitely. And the
So
thing is, because BeatStars is worldwide, and obviously people are buying beats from all over the world, like the time zone differences might be different, you know. So
Yeah.
I tend to find sometimes I'm getting messages at 3 a.m. in the morning, you know, and I'm like
mhm,
constantly looking at my phone. But if you've got many chats set up, you can set like an out of office type of thing, can't you? You know, you can set the hours for
mhm.
many chats. So when you're around and you're online, that you want to be able to, you know, talk to them directly, and then you can just have those automations set up at a set time. So I'll
Yeah,
definitely look into that.
yeah, like maybe if you wanted, you could set up an automated message, like no matter what people type in, you could say like, like I'm available from this time to this time, or I'll get back to you within 24 hours with a response,
Exactly.
something like that. I did
Yeah.
want to ask TPB here about the artwork of these tracks. So the artwork looks a little different for everything. I know some people like to use the same artwork for everything, but it looks like he does have a consistent theme of some kind of background with his logo right in the middle of these tracks. What did you think about that? Did you have any comments or advice about that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I do think the artwork looks good. I don't know if there's some type of theme. Doesn't seem to be, but I could be wrong, so apologies if there is. The logo does pop out well, even though the size of the artwork is small here. The logo is very visible. I can't really understand the fonts most of the times. So maybe look into that, see how you can actually make the fonts more visible when in a smaller size. I'm sure that there are probably the sunshine one, especially since it's a white font on top of almost the sun itself. It becomes very harder to read. Here it's actually legible enough, I guess. But yeah, keep in mind of your artwork when you're going to shrink it, especially if you have text. Um, but yeah, other than that, like the logo pops out very well, and that's a good detail always.
Mhm.
Talking of the text,
Um,
that's something that me personally, changed recently because I noticed, and it's funny you say that because I noticed exactly the same thing because the image was smaller. It looks good when you're designing it and it looks amazing, but then you have
Yeah,
to take into consideration, like when someone's viewing it, they might, you know, not actually be able to see it. So
yeah.
it's
I
kind of a
mean,
good point.
it's a minor detail because obviously the artwork is more to illustrate, and if
Exactly.
you have the information on the side of it, it doesn't matter as much. But if you're gonna put in the work of actually getting a different font for each artwork and write it down and all of that, if you're gonna put that type of work, make sure that at least it's legible.
Yeah,
Because you can always take the simpler route and not have any type of font and just your logo and just a different image for each cover, and that will work as well. Just try to keep in mind that if you're going to put in the work, make sure that you're putting it in a fruitful way.
definitely. Yeah.
for sure. I do like this B genre section. I assume
Yeah,
this will take you to track. This is the track list page. Yep.
Yeah,
Cool. I
yeah,
like
that's
that.
great.
Makes it easy right on the homepage to look at different
that's a really cool idea, actually.
I like the,
genres.
yeah,
Yeah.
track lists
You
are
don't see that
great.
all the time. Yeah, a lot of people just disable the track lists section on the homepage, but this is a really good simplified use of it, which I
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy.
I do
I
like it a lot.
I quite like that they've put it under the actual tracks as well, because obviously most of the
Mhm.
time you just have the license. I mean, it's still important to have the licenses there, so just a choice. But that's kind of nice that you can obviously move those around. So that's what they've done there, which is quite cool. I like that.
Mhm. I like this pro page, or I like this blog section, kind of talking about like just different FAQs, which I think is really cool. You don't really see that on a lot of different
That's super
pages.
cool. He's got his
Yeah,
that is a really good tip, by the way. Just scroll. Can you scroll up?
the way he's using the tools.
They've put their publishing information in there, their
Yeah,
writing information. That's such a great idea.
yeah,
That's really good. Um, Great work with that because obviously there's a bit on the on the platform where you can see that, but it's nice that they can actually come to your personal pro page and get that information. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on this page. I do want to get to a couple more, but thank you, Grandtastic,
No, I
for
do love a
submitting.
lot how he's using the tools that we're given.
Exactly.
Even though there's not a frequently asked questions section, he made use of the blog to make that, and the track list. I really like the way that he's breaking down the tools.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's cool. Like, so as a producer, like being in this space, you're in a position where hopefully you're understanding a lot of these things about licensing and a lot of the way these things like publishing might work. But just try to put yourself in the mindset of somebody who's inexperienced with it, a new artist, somebody who's never released a beat before. They will have a million questions like this, and if they have concerns where they're not sure how it works, they're probably not going to be spending up to a couple $100 on a license. So providing this kind of information to make it easier for them and make them feel more secure about a purchase, you know, it might be the difference in making the sale, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
keep some of these things in mind. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who isn't as experienced as you, or doesn't know as much as you, and instead of putting the burden on them to go do their own research like you might have had to do, help them out a little bit, because like nobody's going to be spending hundreds of dollars on a beat if they don't even know how licensing works, right? So
Yeah.
It's a good point.
yeah,
It's all
just
part
keep
of that
that in mind.
automated. It's all part of that automated communication as well, isn't it? Really, that's what
Yeah.
it kind of boils down to.
For sure. All right, let's check out our next pro page. Thank you again for submitting, Grandtastic. Appreciate it. Really nice pro page.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Thanks, man.
I don't think I see Muerte Rico in here. Muerte Rico, if you are here, let us know. Let me scroll up to see if he's been talking.
I can't
Okay.
see.
Yeah, we're gonna go to I think Consiglius is here. We'll go to Consiglius.
Yep.
I did see him, I think.
I think we reviewed Consiglius recently though, because we have such limited time. I just want to make sure we get to people that
Sure.
we
I,
haven't reviewed
I can't
recently.
recall. It's been some time since we've done.
It's probably been some time. Let's check it out. We already mentioned his name, so I don't want to not do it now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So we got purple vibes
Yeah. And green.
and green vibes. Purple and green. I like it. Purple and green
Yeah, I
are
like it
just a
too.
couple of nice colors.
Also using
Um,
the chatbot. That's cool.
For sure. Let me just try to take all this in from what we see right when we log in. Um,
I really like the color palette going on here.
I do. I kind of wish this was purple or green, but that could be easily changed.
You can
I
change
wouldn't really
the
the chatbot.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You can change the color of that.
Yeah. The only thing I don't think fits as well is the actual header image.
I was about to say the
I
same.
It
don't
does
know
have
if
like a purple. It has like a purple tint to it a little bit.
somewhat,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know if this is his actual image or if it's a stock footage. But either way, I think that even if you want to use this, maybe add some type of actual filter, sort of to blend it in more. But other than that, I feel like
I know one thing. If that's your studio, I'm jealous.
yeah, me too. I'm lucky enough to have what I have.
Cool. All right, we'll check you out after this, Muerte Rico.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's scroll down. Let's just look through some of this stuff. Okay, so it looks like we're at white, black, and purple now. What do you think about
I like it. I don't think it works badly, but and this is a personal thing mainly. I think maybe it's a personal thing. I would probably invert the tags or the secondary buttons. it's capturing a lot of my attention towards like the hashtags, the download and the share buttons. So it works well, but I feel like maybe it's giving you an eye focus towards the wrong things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
what
see
do you
what
think?
you're
Like,
saying.
if this was black with white text, just like the titles, I think that might
Yeah,
look a little bit,
Yeah, that
might
would
yeah,
look
blend in a
cool.
little bit better.
it looks good, but I just feel like maybe it would be more balanced that way.
Yeah, I agree.
I really like the colors that he went with.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah, it's
track
kind of
artwork
different.
too.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
green and the purple work really well.
does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think this text is pretty easy to see. On something like this, it's a little bit tougher, but yeah, a lot of these images like immediately stand out to me. Um,
Hmm.
the titles look a little, I don't know, maybe with these like images, I guess these are emojis, I'm not 100% sure. It does look a little bit um
Confusing.
yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit
Yeah.
confusing. I'm a little
I think
bit
there's probably a bit too much going on there. I think
mhm,
it's cool to
like
use
in this,
emojis,
yeah.
but if you're
In
gonna
this
use them,
area here, it looks a little chaotic because there's like a lot of X's because you
yeah,
put like, because you're putting a lot of artist names, so you're seeing a lot of these things come up, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
um yeah, I think okay, let's go down to albums. Okay, it's cool.
Drag times 4.
yeah. It's cool. It's cool how you've the way that you've named the title. It's very, very informative. You know, drag times
Yeah.
4 = 70. Like that kind of stuff is really cool.
Okay, licensing
Yeah.
info is pretty clear and simple. I like it.
Yeah, I like the names as well. Starter,
And see,
Pro. I've not seen that before.
and
Hmm.
here you kind of find that example of what I was mentioning in the first one, where each
Yeah,
license has the same exact number of lines, except for the exclusive. But it's
yeah,
better to have one off than all of them being different. So it
yeah.
automatically gives you that balance. And the popular is centered, so ROCD loves this.
Hmm.
Some services as well. Custom beat.
The beats, yeah.
Cool. I'll maybe just change this to say custom beat because the instrumental part gets cut off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then let's just check through. It looks like, I mean, we do have the albums. Anybody, yeah, that was the albums, and
What's
then
the
that's
about?
the
What's the about page like?
that's
That's
the
the one
about
I
side.
usually kind of liked. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
you're a
Something I
father and
revival.
son. That's cool.
something I always do. Something if I'm checking someone out, I always check their about page. I don't know if it's just by habit. The same as if like on the marketplace, I'm checking to see if they have their social media links like Instagram and stuff. I want to see what they're like.
Hmm.
So it's really important having an about page so people can find out what you're
Yeah,
about.
For
100%.
sure. No, I mean, like we've been talking to consigliers for a while now. I had no idea they were a father and son producer
No,
team. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is why things like about sections and bios are important. There's some things that you would never learn about people otherwise, that can really kind of like add to like relationship building or kind of just like, I don't know, like or just wanting to work with people. So I think that's cool. This is why you should always fill out your bio
good advice
definitely.
for networking.
Yeah.
for sure.
And if you do have discovery stuff, like make sure you show it because it shows off, what stuff that you've worked on before. Stuff
Yeah.
like that is really cool.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for the submission. We're
Great
gonna move
stuff.
on to the next pro page, and I think we can get a couple more in if we move quickly. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and do that. Oh, okay. We got a video in the
Oh,
background.
got an animated. That's always cool.
That is cool.
That's dope, and I like the colors immediately. Like the purple,
Yeah,
we
very.
immediately know what the vibes are. This background is very dark. It looks like this is kind of just coming out of the void, which I do like. Um, and This is a really good example of tracks. I feel like I
Yeah,
wanted to
Yeah.
find something like this where you see a very consistent theme, like simple 1 or 2 words for every name. I do notice that for some reason this track doesn't have free downloads when all the other ones do. These are like a little bit
could be a
weird.
collaboration. Could
Yeah,
be.
it could be a collab. They're like,
Could be anything.
there could be a reason for that. Like,
Or to
Yeah.
better represent solitude, like the title indicates. I don't know.
mhm.
The Plan B
Um,
brings the best jokes ever. But I do like it. It's very balanced. It's like the colors are properly accented.
The pricing's really straightforward as well, which is good.
Yes.
mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
buy 2, get 1 free for everything. That's pretty cool. Buy 3, get 2 free.
Cool
pretty cool.
artwork.
Yeah.
Services look cool.
Hmm.
I would maybe try. Okay, so you're an animator. You do animations. That's cool.
Yeah, and like Jamil said on the last one, maybe just leave custom beat instead of, because obviously you can't read what else it says in
Mhm.
there.
I like this
Oh,
one.
this
So
looks
vertical
really
animation, animated pro page layout.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a really cool product. Yeah, maybe try to play around with the title to make it like less characters. So on a smaller display like this, you'll be able to read it a little bit more easily. Maybe. I'm not
One
sure
thing
if
I wanted
there's-
to mention, I'm not sure. Can you? Maybe it's because it's on a smaller screen, but can you see the logo in the top left-hand corner?
I was thinking about that all this time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Me
pretty.
too.
I mean, it's small, but even on my large display, it's pretty small.
Okay.
I would say maybe make it fully white so it's a bit more legible. That might help since these are a bit more
Mhm.
darker tones with the gradient and all. So maybe having it fully white will make it a bit more legible.
Mhm.
But so far from what I see, that might be my only pointer as well.
For sure. I do like that you have merch soon over here, like letting people know that your merch is coming soon.
That's pretty cool.
That to me, like we always kind of mention, like if you don't have anything in a page, like don't put it as a menu option. But like this to me is actually a good use of it. Like if you don't have something, but it is coming soon, that's a good way to let people know.
Yeah, because it might want people to keep coming back and checking,
Mhm.
That's the cool way to entice people to come back. It's cool. You have your 2020, was that 2020? Yeah, it was 2020.
2020
Yeah,
impact,
2020 impact. Updated this with your 2021.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been making beats since
Alright.
the same time as I have. That's awesome.
2012.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's cool. It's
Okay.
nice.
10 years.
Great work.
Great work, Merlin.
Great work. Appreciate you submitting.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Okay, who else is in here?
Who submitted, Jamil? And I can probably tell you who's in here.
So we have some people. The latest submissions were from about 15 minutes ago. K, you going crazy? X Rain, Varker Beats. I think Varker Beats is here. From what I
Yeah,
saw.
I think Vark.
Okay, Varker Beats is here. Let's open
Yeah,
up that
Varka.
one.
Yeah. X-Rain is here as well.
Cool. Ooh, this is nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Does look fire.
Okay, cool. I like the information that you have in the header. Within a pro page doesn't have that like option until you add tracks to cart that marketplace profiles do, where on marketplace profiles you could see the bulk deals right at the top of the page. On pro page you can't see that. So I appreciate that you went through the effort to let people know that you do have bulk deals. I think that's really smart. Obviously it shows in the licenses, but it's good to let people know right from the beginning to kind of put it in their minds, like, okay, I need to buy 2.
Yeah. The only thing I would say, just from off the bat, from what I can see, is the visualizer is not very visual.
Yeah.
Pardon the
Yeah,
pun.
it kind of blends into the background.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only thing I would say
Well,
there.
let's see what the progress bar looks like.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
it's
so it's
white.
white.
But maybe
It's
make
kind
it
of
a
cool.
lighter blue
Yeah.
so that it's still subtle, but at least you can actually see it. Another thing is you have a logo, which is actually cool. So I would use it on your navigation
Yeah,
bar.
and I think that will
Yeah.
work. I think that will work
Yeah.
quite well because it's a small number of letters, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that would look good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you using the text? You have a nice logo. Just put that in there.
I
Okay.
was telling everyone off.
I thought everybody else was just saying, like, why not do it? Okay. It looks like you make a lot of like Bad Bunny. I'm not sure who Jay Wheeler is. But that's cool. You have like a theme. I do like
Titling
a
is
lot of these.
consistent.
Yeah, look the same. Um, maybe these might be like by like type of beat, right? Because if you look at this, you see this one Oliver Francis. I'm not sure who that is, but it's different than like the Bad Bunny ones.
Yeah,
Those ones are all blue. And then this one,
Yeah.
this Justin Bieber one, is a different shade. So it might be
that's
organized by like
clever.
genre.
Yeah, if that's the
That's
case, then it's definitely clever.
that's clever.
Yeah,
My
or I
only
might have just,
thing,
I might have just made that up. I don't know. I might have
yeah.
just made that up. For
If
you,
if
but
Jamil is making it up, just go with it. Just say it was your idea
Just
the
go
whole
with it.
But
time.
that's pretty cool. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Barker Beat says it is a color theme. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a great idea.
Okay.
My only suggestion here would be the same as the previous one, where like the tags, I would make them a bit more subtle, because again, everything is kind of fighting for its visual impact.
And then we can kind of like further see that. If I just wrote a little bit more, it would have been more obvious. But yeah, these Bad Bunny ones
Yeah.
are all blue, and then I don't know who these artists are. But yeah, they look like they all have their own color, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
A lot of different license types, which is nice. You have
Yeah.
different options. You have the bulk deal, same buy two get one free for everything, which I think is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
good. Another
okay, you have
FAQ.
FAQ
Also have an
too.
FAQ.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool. Are these are in English and Spanish? Because that's nice.
That would. Oh, that's good.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
you have both languages. That's cool.
Yeah, in English and Spanish. So if a lot of your customers are from Spanish-speaking countries, okay, so you're from Chile. That's dope. I mean, I like it. I think this is a good pro page.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah,
good.
it's cool.
This is a good pro page.
Other
The
than
header is
other than
definitely.
the visualizer, that was the only kind of thing I would maybe think about changing, just to make it a little bit more visual. But
And the text,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
and the text, yeah. But
But the
I,
rest is cool.
yeah, some
I
good
do like
ideas.
how he blends in the gradient with the header, like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also differentiating between, like,
Yeah.
creating divides in between the different products. Which is
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. Nice
Great
work.
work, man.
Hmm.
This is awesome. Well, thank you. I'm glad we ended like on a good note. I mean, every pro page is good. I'm glad we ended on a good note like that.
Hmm.
Appreciate
Definitely.
everybody for submitting today. We'll do another one of these soon because I know we weren't able to get to everybody. Exactly, kind of ran out of time, but appreciate everybody coming in today. We hope that you guys learned some stuff and you guys have like some like really clear like actionable things that you can go ahead and sort of like put into your pro pages right away, even if we didn't get to yours specifically. But yeah, any final thoughts, Joao and Lee, on what we saw today?
Personally, I really like the pro pages. A few tweaks here and there for each of them, but I think everyone has a good grasp on how to make a balanced and visually appealing pro page. So kudos to everyone of the community, at least from what I saw.
Yeah, definitely. And what's nice to see is like how people are utilizing the different features that we offer, you know, and also like everyone that's tuning in is going to be able to get some ideas from some of the other stuff that people are doing, you know, like you know, having a theme for your colors for your tracks. I mean, I thought that was a really great idea.
Yeah.
For the, you know, based on genre and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Just those little subtle little things can sometimes make a huge difference, you know. So I like to see stuff like that where people are kind of thinking outside the box and just, you know, going with it. So it's really cool. Good to see. So
For
great
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely. If you all wanted to review any of the stuff that we watched today over again, or just check it out later when you're designing your pages, you can always rewatch these entire live videos on our YouTube page or on Twitch. And BeatStars Live will be back tomorrow with MEC. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. And I think this Friday we also have Beat Feedback
Yeah.
with Sony
Will.
Music A&R. Yeah, I think Will is going to be on this week, so that'll be cool. BeatStars Academy will be back in 2 weeks, so we'll see you all then. Appreciate you again, Plan Beats, for joining us as always.
Anytime.
Levi, you are a great co-captain and co-host.
I'm getting
on this
brighter
show.
and brighter each week.
Every week, just and it's really symbolic of the way that you light up this show, man. So keep spreading the bright colors. All right, we'll see you all later.
Peace out, everyone.
Take care.